It is my pleasure now to introduce today's guest speaker. A native of Chicago, Craig Vercruysse serves as the West Bay Region Chief Information Officer and Chief Process Officer in Sutter Health's West Bay Region. His 19-year career started in the financial services and high-tech industries before moving into healthcare in 2001. Craig has held leadership roles in marketing, communications, sales, operations, and information technology in both startups and multi-billion-dollar institutions. Craig earned his bachelor's degree from Loyola University Chicago and went on to complete an MBA from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. Craig resides in San Francisco with Allison, his wife of 11 years. As the son of a cancer nurse, Craig is reminded every day as he works with patients, physicians, nurses, and staff about the alignment between one's personal values and their professional career. No doubt, one reason why Craig has been such a good friend to Year Up. Please join me in welcoming Craig Vercruysse.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Jay, for that introduction. And I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to address the third class. I've been to both graduations, and they have been, and now this is my third, and they have been absolutely inspiring. I have the honor of addressing all of you after hearing a very moving opening by Tazo, a wonderful story which will fit very nicely with the theme of my talk about inflection points. And I commend you, sir. Well done. And with every story, there are numbers too, and I was just staggered hearing the outcomes of what Year Up has been able to provide its alumni in the 90% number for employment or continuing education for your graduates. That is just phenomenal, Jay, and deserves an absolute round of applause once again. And it's really hard to compete with a desktop Jedi turned systems analyst. Congratulations to you, Justin. Really great opening and acknowledgement of your new employer, Mozilla. So for preparing my brief talk, Lori Quinn was great in asking me some thought questions, and she said to me, well, what was your Year Up? Was one of the things she said, and it got me thinking about the blessings of my own education and the people who supported me along the way, the Year Ups that have been a part of my life, and it got me reflecting. So Lori, thank you for that opportunity to let me reflect in preparation for this. So I've come up, the name of this talk is Reflections on Inflections. And reflection, you know, let's just go textbook here for a moment. Reflection, to ponder, to sit quietly, to reminisce. In my organization, wearing my Chief Process Officer hat, we're learning the Toyota management system. It's called Hansei in Japanese. We've brought that to the workplace, to sit quietly at the start of a day with your team and have a Hansei on how your prior day's work was. It's very comforting. It's very appropriate. It seems very fitting for a graduation to reflect. Inflections. It's a bend or angle, a change in shape, a flex point. Now I get to take the liberty with the English language. It's a change in the trajectory of one's life. It's a time of great opportunity. It's synonymous with Year Up. You may or may not know it, graduates, but each of you who have gone through this incredible year are in an inflection point. You've heard it through Tazo. You've heard it through Justin. You've heard it in the numbers Jay gave about your colleagues. But how do I know? Through my direct experiences with the wonderful students that I've had the pleasure of encountering, and particularly those from this class, Maria, Brian, Burhan. I know because I've heard the stories. I've heard the stories of how you got here. I've met your parents now who were the catalysts for introducing you to Year Up. I've heard the story of our alums. It all involves a change in trajectory. It all involves an inflection point. I've heard your insightful research on the healthcare industry, an industry you knew nothing about except being a consumer. And partway through your internship, you did your own study of what it meant to go through a great change in America in healthcare reform. And I was blown away by your insights in being new to this industry entirely. I saw your anxious moments. I saw those moments where you were doing things you've never done before and interacting with people of a level you have never interacted before, and do it with such grace and desire to learn. And that's a wonderful thing. I saw it in your breakthrough moments when you finished that checklist for installing a new PC, a checklist we never had before that would ensure that a computer would go out into a clinic to deploy an electronic health record that will be the cornerstone of how we serve and deliver better patient care in America. I saw you do that. And I saw you connect the dots to that larger purpose. It was also in your moments of challenge and your failure. We all have them. You had yours as well. Your shyness dissipated at the beginning of your time with us, and then your brilliance shone, and then it was recognized in a job offer or a contract offer. That's how I know you're in an inflection point. And it was in the impact you had on your mentors and your managers, lest you not forget that your inflection point affects and inspires so many other people, including your mentors, your managers, your corporate sponsors. It means the world to us to be energized by your accomplishments, your achievements, your growth. And it's in this filled ballroom, this inflection point where people are here to celebrate you, and how wonderful and glorious that is that you take the time to do it, and you have the support of your teachers, your mentors, your families, your friends, and each other. Bonds, I'm sure, that will last for many, many years to come. Now to Lori's question about me. I can relate to your story. I've had several major trajectory changes in my life, several inflection points. My initial year up was just before I turned a teenager. And it was the first of 3 inflection points that truly changed the trajectory of my life. Dad was a truck mechanic. Mom was a student, studying to become a nurse, raising 2 small children. We were in our 3rd year of living in a very cozy mobile home, and money was tight. But Triton College, a little junior college near where we lived in the western suburbs of Chicago, had their version of Year Up. And I got the opportunity to play with TV cameras and audio equipment, and then there was this thing called the personal computer. Wow, I think I should try that. I get through computer 1, that was great, and my dad scrimped and saved to be able to take me to Polk Brothers Electronics to buy me a Commodore VIC-20. And I said, well, I need to go take computer 2. This was an inflection point. How do I know? High energy. It was exciting. I was anxious. I was learning. There were all kinds of feelings. Inflection points are symbolized by your feelings. And then I failed out of computer 2. I felt like I couldn't do it. And I felt like I had disappointed my folks. But they were there. They helped me to get through that inflection point. And it's now some almost 30 years later that I stand before you after having gone through many others and reflect on that inflection point with a deep sense of gratitude and pride. I've talked about all those emotions. You may be feeling them as well. You may be feeling, well, what happens next? Future may be certain, future may be uncertain. You may have a high amount of energy, and you may be saying to yourself, gosh, this is the best day of my life. It can't get any better than this. Well, I'm here to tell you, this is the best day of your life in terms of your education as an inflection point. And yes, it can still get better. And this is a platform to move ahead in doing that. So how do you get the most out of these inflection points? First of all, recognize you're in one. Secondly, get engaged and take chances. Now's the time to take those chances. Now's the time to stretch. Another internship, contract work, informational interviews. You have a whole network of people in this room, professional associations, community groups, and you know, you're still part of Year Up. You heard about the alumni opportunities. Watch what you consume. Now's the time that your thoughts are impacted, your body is impacted. Be careful and mindful of the food you eat, the TV you watch, the papers and magazines and the books you consume. Make them all positive. Make them catalyze your inflection point through your year of Year Up. Fuel your whole person, whatever that means for you. Exercise, writing, play, dream, nature, hike, whatever it takes. Make sure you handle the whole person so that when you visualize and you spend the time visualizing what you want out of the next chapter in your life, you will tackle it with unbridled energy that you never knew existed deep within you. One never walks alone. Families, friends, the stories of how you brought your graduates to this day as the support structure behind them, I want to take a moment and give you all a great round of applause. You truly deserve it. And in closing, graduates, you are changed. Today's a wonderful day. You are accomplished, and we celebrate you. You're on a new trajectory because of the inflection point called You're Up in your life. And with that comes new opportunities, but it also comes with new expectations. I think You're Up has done a great job of making you all aware that in terms of your learning and your skill building, there is a responsibility that comes with that. And that's a wonderful part that I really admire about this program. We wish you prosperity as you chart your next course, and we're still here to support you. So never forget that support. And it is my sincerest hope that when you have the benefit of looking back on your career, as I had the great opportunity to do because of your invitation to address you, I hope you have the joy of reflecting on this inflection point in 5 or 10 years and get that same sense of deep sense and pride and gratitude for the life that you have created for yourself because of your You're Up. So congratulations, graduates.